Good morning. I would like to show you my first two journals that I've made, how I've used them, and what I have learned in the process of doing this. I've become absolutely obsessed with junk journals. My family doesn't entirely understand it or even what you do with it. And it is important to me that I can use them for writing and journaling because I am a journaler and I have been for years. So let me just show you what I've done so far and what I've learned. So this is the very first one I made. I used it as a travel journal. I was recently in Europe with my daughter, and I made this ahead of time out of a cereal box. I was real excited about being able to use some of the cereal boxes. My husband eats cereal every day, and I just can't bear to throw them away. I just folded it and put some images on the front. I used a brad in the front, and one of the things I've learned is I probably wouldn't put a brad in the front anymore, but the baker's twine worked well. This worked really well. It was plenty long, so I could wrap it around a couple of times, and boy did I use it. I put some things in the beginning to prepare for my trip, and including some journaling cards and pockets to put things like train tickets, your rail passes. I did reinforce the edges. It's just plain copy paper, and I did reinforce the edges with washi tape, and I think that was a good call because it got a lot of use. I travel very light, and so all I took with me was some markers, a few stickers, a pair of scissors that you get in a dollar store sewing kit. So they were very, very tiny, but they did the job. And I just started collecting ephemera as we went on the trip. And this is from a pizza, a bag that we took home, some extra pizza in the first place we ate. I wrote every day. I had already put lines on the pages using the cardboard trick. And it turns out I don't have a real problem with writing straight, so I don't even think I'd bother with that in the future. But you know, it was kind of nice too. And I just stuck every little bit of ephemera in here I could. I wrote while my daughter was still sleeping in the morning. I'm an early riser. Oh yeah, and I took a few rolls of washi tape with me. That was pretty important. And I put in menus. I cut up some brochures and put pictures in them together. So yeah, and I had envelopes already done, and I put receipts and posters and things in them. Used the space under business cards. I picked up business cards wherever I went. And so anyway, this is what I did. I had some tucks and some envelopes. I did have envelopes with me, and they were very useful. One thing I learned about this, and that is, although I loved it and I used it and it was great, and I don't mind the sort of junky look, it was just slightly too small for sort of standard size brochures. So the ends got a little crinkled and wrinkled, and I didn't mind that, and I really like looking at it. And you know, that's my souvenir from my trip, and it was perfect. I love looking at it, and boy, was it inexpensive. Here's a program for a concert we went to, and I just had to put that in sideways, but I had no problem with that. So anyway, that was my first use of my first journal, and it worked really well. And like I said, the one thing I would do is maybe make it a little longer next time, but it held up super well. on the trip, and actually I really love it. So I had my doubts as to whether a junk journal could work as a regular daily journal. As I said, I am a journaler, and I used some beautiful journals before, and I wrote in pencil because I was afraid to make a mistake, but I just loved junk journals, and I was hoping they would work as a daily journal. So this is my second one. It again is a cereal box folded over. I used Tsunami Rose designs and just put some images on the inside cover of the cereal box. This is a free download from the internet. I don't even remember where, but throughout here I used Tsunami Rose's papers and added some colored papers that I had on hand, tea-dyed some others, and well, you'll see. I wanted to use every space available for writing, so even though I use these little pockets with the inserts, I washi taped them in a way that I could still write on the whole page and still use the inside. So and I became brave. I used pen, and I started using just little bits of small stickers, and I start doodling partway through, little bits of ephemera that I've been collecting and finally using. And so on the design pages, if it was light enough, I wrote right over the top of it. I had tuck spots, and I put extra paper, and I wrote on that. And I started really having a good time with this. I used this little technique and wrote on that. One thing I learned, before I started using this, I had this textured paper in, and it looked kind of cool, but and it was really hard to write on, so I won't do that again. I began to stuck little bits of ephemera in here. These are wristbands from a museum that I went to with my grandkids, and some silverware holders from a local restaurant. And I put it in an envelope that I made from parchment paper. And so I started adding bits of ephemera, which I really liked. And I wondered, even though I went ahead and did this when I was making the journal, I wondered how I would use the space behind a tuck spot. And I have this stationery. A friend of mine made this gorgeous stationery, and I've had it on hand, haven't used it, but this was perfect for this. And it also happens to match with the cabbage rose design. So I just tucked a bit of that back there and wrote on that, and then around the outside I doodled. I used an envelope in the center of the signatures and put little tuck spots on the front. Again, this is all cut aparts from Tsunami Rose paper. Here's some tickets. My daughter and I went to a movie, and I just tucked those back there. I got pretty excited about being able to start using ephemera in my daily journal. Again, just little bits of ephemera. This was the day after the election, which was pretty high emotion in this country, and I wanted to add my 2 bits to what my thoughts were, but I typed it all out because I had a lot to say, and then I, rather wisely I think, tucked it in this envelope. It's kind of hard to get out, and it isn't easily visible, which is probably just as well. Again, this was that textured paper. It was kind of hard to write on, so just added stickers for bits of color. There's washi tape around the outside. Another extra paper on the inside. I was on a trip. I took this with me. It travels very well, by the way. And I took it with me, and I just started putting bits of ephemera where I stayed in the hotel. Obviously, this is from a Starbucks coffee sleeve. And put that in there. I started picking up business cards, little menus, and tucking them in there with washi tape. One day I just felt like cutting out some packaging. I thought the colors were really pretty on that, and this is different packaging, and I've been saving this for a long time. I just love these hands. So I just did that and wrote around it. This was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed this. This is a flyer from a gift away that my mom's church was doing. And I wrote in each one of these little things. I have different things, and sometimes it's a continuation of my day's writing, and sometimes it's something separate altogether, like a little gratitude or things I love. I knew I had dark pages in here with the dark blue, and I used a white gel pen, and it worked pretty well. I can read it. And I got new glasses that day, so I used all these glasses stickers. So yeah, what I learned is that you can actually use these as a daily journal, and not only can you use them, but it's a lot of fun. I just finished this up the other day. Here I have a whole page of ephemera. We did a lot of things that day, so I added it there. And my granddaughter was over this weekend, and this is little bits of ephemera from what we were doing. So, yeah. Now, one of the things I've learned, as I said, I probably wouldn't do the brad in the front, although this does work well, holds together well, and it's very easy to do up and undo. And even though I haven't seen many other people using baker's twine as a closure, I probably would do it again. In fact, I'm positive I would. Here wait a minute. Told you I've learned some things. I started a new journal. Again, you see it's a cereal box. And one of the things I learned is that you cannot Mod Podge inkjet designs because they smear. Also, it's pretty curly, as you see. So yeah, I'm just not going to use this. This is a mistake. But I am working on a new journal, which I hope to start very shortly, like today or tomorrow. And this is it. I have loved Tsunami Rose's designs and these charming fragments. I just love all the vintage images. But again, it's important to me that there's a lot of writing space. So this is still in process. I hope to finish it today. I plan to begin using it today or tomorrow. I haven't done the closure yet, but it's the first one with a design with a spine. I used a cereal box again, and this time I just used the natural end of the cereal box and made a spine. And I was a little unsure how practical that would be for daily use, but I think it's going to work. I'm excited to get started on it, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I will make another flip through video when it's complete. So thank you very much for watching. Keep crafting. I hope you love junk journals as much as I do. Thank you.